Bridge Nation, welcome. Today we have a very special event for you. It's the book launch of Commitment to a Deceitful Liar by author Jenelle Simpson. A book you can curl up with. It is the weekend and we are preparing, and please, let me tell you guys, I did a thumb through. Oh my goodness. We are launching Commitment to a Deceitful Liar, as I said earlier, and Jenelle Simpson joins us in studio. A quick bio. Jenelle Simpson is Jamaican born and raised in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. She's a senior law clerk, paralegal, motivational speaker, and life coach in Toronto. Throughout her life, she has been known for her powerful voice and positive, supportive, and encouraging spirit. Jenelle Simpson, welcome.
Thank you. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am excited to hear about Commitment to a Deceitful Liar.
Okay.
Let's get into it. Janelle, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in Jamaica. I migrated to Canada when I was approximately 5 years old. Okay. My mom first came over here without papers, and then she sent for my brother, dad, and I. And then I've been in Toronto, going to high school, went to college, became a law clerk, then decided I wanted to be a paralegal. Initially, I really wanted to become a lawyer, but then I'm like, after working with lawyers, I'm like, no, not for me. Their life is way too stressful, and I could already tell that what I wanted, my purpose, was bigger than being a lawyer. So I shift gears, and then I realized that I had the gift of writing, and I became an author.
Became an author. All right, let's talk about that. Let's talk about, this is your first book, yes?
Yes.
Yes,
there's 3 series to that book, and I have a journal and I have a children's book.
So you're a seasoned. You're seasoned. All right. So I hear we have a quick audio. We're going to jump to a quick audio file, and then we'll come right back, an audio review of the book, and we're going to come right back with Jenelle Simpson of Commitment to a Deceitful Liar.
Commitment to a Deceitful Liar.
I laugh, I cried, I laugh, I cried, but I still have this anger in me. And I will say there's so much that we have in common from the start of the book. Our parents, especially our mothers, and the way how I lived through every moment. Now, I'm a fast reader, and I had to take time to read the book because it was awakening things from my past. I just want to say, God bless you, the strength of who you are. How did you heal with sexuality and your body? Because I struggled so much with mine. I struggled with my body, and I struggled with sex, especially after having kids. I have not had someone relate to my life like you in the capacity of still moving forward and achieving. So to meet you is an honor, and I hope that we can some way work together to save others like how we saved ourselves.
Commitment to a Deceitful Liar.
Jenelle, tell us about the book.
The book was healing for me. I knew that I needed to write it. And I knew that I held on it for too long. When God said, write it now, I was like, I don't want to write that book. When I started writing, I was at work and I was just tired. And I'm like, I know this is a part of my purpose, so I have to start writing this book. And then it will lead into other things, not just for me, but for my children, my family, my mom, my dad, and other generations, like the generation that's growing up now that doesn't have that escape, that person that's there for them, people that are actually showing them, well, this is what I went through, and you'll get through it.
Yeah.
It doesn't end there, right? Because I found that even books that I picked up, they were just, okay, well, this is a success book. This is what you need to do to earn money, or this is my life now. But where was your life before you got to the success? The book talks about being raised in Jamaica and then coming to Canada, being raised with a stepfather, how it was for me, and seeing the abuse in my home with my mother and not realizing that that's not normal, because I thought it was normal. friendships, talks about Jamaican beliefs and myths that we have where our parents tell us, don't trust this person. They talk about abia. This person's going to abia. This person's going to do this to you. I grew up on that. I grew up on my mom telling us that we need to protect ourselves. And abia was always a big topic in our house where I'm just like, okay, seriously? So everybody around me I can't trust. So that was a hard thing for me to even trust people as friends.
Yeah.
So friendships, I never really had a best friend from when I was a child up till an adult. Talks about how what I wanted, like me and my brother, the dynamic of seeing him and having multiple girlfriends. And I'm like, but Tana, so people if I have so much girlfriend, like, you know, so, and it just goes into different things.
So we're going to explore throughout the hour. Again, guys, we are launching the book, Commitment to a Deceitful Liar. Kudos to you and congratulations, Jenelle Simpson. As I was thumbing through, this jumped out at me. Normalize going through and pulling through hard times. Normalize trying new approaches. Normalize learning new things. Normalize learning from people. Admitting that you don't know everything and growing together is powerful. Normalize saying it's okay. I don't mind relearning, and take time with yourself as you go through those stages. Take us through that, your thought process when you wrote that.
So when I wrote that, I thought about, again, my mom and how I was raised. Everybody thinks they know everything. The old Jamaican saying, the roots, listen to your parents, take heed, me know everything. Of course, our parents know a lot more than we do, and they're more experienced. But there's things that we could teach them now, because the world is changing. Generation is turning, and we got to learn how to integrate that with their teachings and our old roots, and we got to grow with it. So it's normalizing saying I don't know it all, even at my age, and I'm willing to learn and unlearn the old stuff that I was taught and I was raised on, so I can accept the new and transfer onto the new generation.
Accept the new and transfer onto the new generation. Take us through the writing process. What were some of the challenges that you have in writing this particular book?
Self-challenge. I was the biggest block. I kept telling myself I wasn't good enough. Why are you doing this? I would wake up and I would feel like, what are you doing? An author? That's not for you. You're not going nowhere with this book. And then I realized, you see how the devil will slide in when God wants to take you here, and the devil will come and try to throw you off.
Yes.
I every time I wrote, I would stop. I would write, I stopped. I wrote, I stopped.
How did you overcome that?
I had to deal with myself. I had to literally talk to myself and find out why I was always putting myself down and why I didn't think I was good enough. And then when I got to the root of it, I'm like, okay, it's from my childhood. The book helped me heal, because I realized that I wasn't praised as a child. So when I want to praise myself, I don't praise myself. When I hear from other people, I'm like, it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it was me literally sitting down with myself and saying, God, if this is your will, push me, tug me, show me where to go, align me with the right people. And when I was going to stop writing that book, I couldn't find the right artist to do the book cover, because I wanted it drawn from scratch.
Yes, and it's a beautiful cover.
I searched, and I couldn't find anybody. I went to my bed at like 2 a.m., woke up at 6. When I woke up and I looked at Instagram, this lady, Patricia Sparks, added me to Instagram. And I'm like, why is this woman with over 7,000 followers adding me? When I looked through her page, she was an artist.
Look at that.
And funny enough, I was looking for a Black artist, and you see how God will throw you off, because God's like, listen, you know what you're doing, and I'm not going to give you what you want, I'm going to give you what you need. And she's Caucasian, and all she draws is Black people.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
I messaged her, spoke to her on the phone for 2 hours. We just became friends, and she broke down. She said, I'm doing this book cover. She finished it within a week with no details whatsoever. Wow. And it's interesting how God will put people in your life and align you with the right people to get the book done.
Yeah. How long did it take to complete the book and publish?
Under 2 months. But because because I was stopping. So when I finished the book, I was like, I don't know what to do now. I hired a publishing company, and they were trying to take away from my writing, and I didn't like that. So I said, you know what? what am I going to do? I can't self-publish. And God's like, listen, girl, you have it in you to self-publish.
Yes, you do.
And I'm like, you know what? Okay, self-publish. I got to do it. And I just did it.
And you did it.
Yeah.
What is one going to feel when they thumb through these pages, when they sit with it this weekend and over time? What is the feeling that they're going to have, and what is the outcome? What are the hopes that you want to happen?
So when I was writing the book, I wanted people to feel the book, like literally feel it like it was real. So I wanted them to laugh. I wanted them to cry. I wanted them to go back to memory lane. So you will feel that. You'll feel inspired. You'll feel happy. And it will give you like a burden where you're feeling like, okay, I need to release.
Yeah.
I need to release what I've been holding on to. And I can write about myself too and publish a book.
Yeah.
So
And that's what it did for you.
Yeah.
As I'm watching you talk and I see, there's some points that you're tearing up and stuff. This really was self-healing for you.
It was. So I'm tearing up because I'm proud of myself.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
I've never
Congratulations. Yes.
I've never actually said it that I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
When I was doing the book, my partner says to me, you got to push.
Yeah.
You got to push yourself. You got to keep reaching out to people. When they don't answer, you keep knocking and God's going to show you exactly where you're supposed to be. So now that I'm here, I'm like, okay, he literally gave me that inspiration to keep pushing, and I'm here and I'm proud of myself that I did it. And I'm proud of myself because where I'm going, it's unbelievable.
Oh my goodness. This is good. Commitment to a Deceitful Liar is the book. The author is Jenelle Simpson, and we are here discussing the book. Jenelle, a chapter that jumped out at me. The title, I should say. And as I was reading through, I was like, okay, now I understand. But chapter 3 and the titling of it. Oh my goodness. Take us through chapter 3.
Chapter 3.
Janelle, am I catching you off guard, Janelle? This is my book, but this is
your
your
book.
book.
You're catching me off guard.
But tell us about chapter 3. Or because I can't really say the title of the chapter. That's why it's caught me off guard, guys. Just kind of take us through what chapter jumped. I mean, this is a self-healing book for you, right? And your aim and hope is that it will help to heal others. But which chapter or what time of the book was your favorite to write? The one that you were just like, oh.
I would say, to be quite honest, Morning Glory.
Tell us about Morning Glory. Yes, that was the grandma.
Yeah.
Yes, tell us about that one.
That was my favorite chapter to write because I missed that. I missed the relationship I had with my grandma.
Yeah.
And
she was a moving force, driving force in your life. I remember she made dinner. Grandma could cook.
Grandma could cook.
Grandma
can cook some nice chicken back and rice.
Yes. Yes. Do you want to say grandma's name? Grandma is grandma still with us?
Yeah, grandma's still with us.
Grandma's supposed to be proud, okay? Does grandma know that she's in the book?
No, grandma doesn't know.
Grandma doesn't know she's in the book?
No.
No, grandma, you're in the book, Yeah, go on with yourself, grandma. I want some chicken back and rice. Just tell me where to come. I'll get it. Is grandma here or is she still in Canada?
She's in Canada.
She's in Canada. Grandma's proud of you too.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I wrote that chapter, it was a release for me because I always tried to mend the relationship after I came out about it. And it was a release for me because I realized that, you know what? Some people just can't admit it and accept it because they don't want to, because it changes their world. So writing that chapter helped me to let go of trying to mend something from the past and get back what I had.
All right, let's hear a quick. My grandma, whom we nicknamed Sweetie because she is as tiny and sweet as candy, came and picked me up from school. Grandma has the most contagious personality. She's so cute. Even her laugh, full of life with a big personality to match. Sweetie is more like my mother, as we have a close relationship and I know she loves me. I can see it in her eyes and feel it in her smile. I am her little mini me, and she takes me everywhere with her. I wash clothes with her. She washes all our clothes, and with her hands, piece by piece, and I get to help. I think I can wash clothes well, but some would say I'm just playing with the clothes. My grandma is so smart, petite, strong, and beautiful. I just love her to pieces.
Yeah.
That's Grandma Sweetie. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right. Commitment to a Deceitful Liar. Bridge Nation, please, by all means, please go out and get it. It is written by this beautiful lady who are going with herself. I mean, her suit is I keep telling you guys, please download the app, the Bridge 99 FM app. You can not only hear us, but you can see what we are doing here. Jenelle is a vision.
I came because I had to come matching your style, girl.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. But yes, we are here talking to Jenelle Simpson, Commitment to a Deceitful Liar. It is a huge undertaking to write a book.
Yeah.
Right? Who was your tribe during this journey? And you couldn't have done it alone. So who was your tribe? You already mentioned your partner, but who else was around you when you did the book?
My 2 children.
Yeah.
My best friend Lauren.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law, who's also one of my bestest friends. My brother.
Those were your tribe.
My brother.
Yeah.
He.
Anthony. Is that his name?
That's not his real name.
Oh, so you changed names in the book.
I
Okay,
changed some
okay,
names in the
okay,
book, but my
okay,
brother's
okay.
name is Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Hey.
And hi, tribe. Thank you for surrounding her and pouring into her and pushing her to get this book out. I mean, this is a huge undertaking. An author, this is big. Yeah, this is huge, actually.
Yeah.
So let's jump to another quote here by Jenelle. People have different attractions and, oh, can I say this on air? Is this word allowed to be said on air? Fetishes? Okay. Some weird fetishes and some that appear to be normal to some. Some like big, some like small. Some like soft, some like rough, some like tall, some like small. And believe it or not, some are, But this is a fact. This is a fact. Attracted to children. Beware of the signs with people around your children. That's the gem right there. Beware of the signs with people around your children. Where'd that come from? Why that?
I think parents, we all have a connection to our kids. We can pick up on certain things and we feel it. So when I say beware of the signs, if your intuition's telling you something, you feel something in your heart, look into it.
Yeah.
It's a serious thing. I think a lot of people get that intuition, but they don't want to dive into it because now they're going to have to face reality of what's really happening. Because for me, my mom saw the signs. She knew something wasn't right. And more so my stepdad. He knew. And he always said he's going to get down to the bottom of it. So
did that happen?
Well, no, because I told them after. But he knew because when I did tell him, he said that he knew, like he had that, even though he's not my biological father, he had that connection with me and he knew something was wrong.
Wow.
And my mom would always see the fighting and the hitting and she wouldn't research, like, why would your uncle be putting your hands on you? It doesn't make any sense. So for me, I just think parents really put your kids first.
Yeah.
No matter how they behave. Children go through different stages and cycles just like us.
Yes.
They're humans too.
Yes.
They have emotions the same way that we do, but we try to pretend like they don't. So it was easier for him to say I was just acting out because I possibly had a boyfriend.
Right.
And easier for her to believe it because she's gonna believe her brother because she doesn't want to break up the family, especially since they were already against her.
Right. Okay. And have you we have a review right here. Oh, we have a review. Here we go. It's like the writer and I lived the same life. Everything she wrote about was 100% myself. Growing up as a Caribbean child, the rules we are given makes up terrified to, I can't see that. What does that say? Let's see. to talk up when it's time to do so. Camera's blocking. This writer wrote a book, not a story. This writer wrote a book, not a story. She did not hold back with the details on how certain characters are in her book. That is by Ricia D. I'm going to read from an excerpt from the book, and we'll discuss with Jenelle about it. Yeah? Ready, Jenelle?
Yes.
Let's go. I wasn't fine, but I told her I was, because I just didn't know how to tell her what I was going through. Talking to mom is hard. She's stern and can be rough when she's ready. I walked past mom and went into my room and closed the door. I slowly got dressed for school with tears rolling down my cheek. We find it easier to hide the truth because lying convinces us that reality is not real. We lie to avoid telling the truth so we won't have to deal with the issue and the consequences and feel the pain. But the truth releases all the painful feelings. For me, a lie was easier than telling my mom what was happening, but it caused more damage. Don't let fear hold you back from releasing what needs to be released. Talk to us about that.
My mom is a very old-fashioned woman. Mm-hmm. She's more the yelling type.
Okay.
So everything was just strict.
Mm-hmm.
Do your bookwork, do your bookwork, do your bookwork. Don't talk to boys, don't have sex. Mm-hmm. She wasn't somebody you could just go to and talk to about stuff. So that put up a block for me to go to her and be like, well, this is what's happening.
Right.
Because I already knew how she was going to react.
Wow.
Based on the way that she treated us. And funny enough, when I did tell her, that's exactly how she reacted. So
how long after or when the abuse started did you find the courage to tell her?
So book number 2 dives into it more.
That's right. This is a trilogy, guys. This is book 1 of 3.
Yep.
Of Whole Leap. We're speaking Whole Leap into existence. Okay. We're going to be hearing about Miss Simpson and her authoring for years to come. Please get this book, Commitment to a Deceitful Lie. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So he left and then he came back because something happened in his life. And
when he left, you felt a release, a sense of release. Yeah. Like
when he left, I felt a sense of release.
Yeah.
But there was still something there. Like I still felt like there was a piece of me like ripped apart and like missing, even though it was weird. It was weird when he left.
Yeah.
Then when he came back, I was like, oh my God, my world's about to change again. And then it did. And it went on for about, I think approximately 1.5 years. And
is this before 1.5 years before telling your mom?
Yeah. And then it was one morning I was going to school and he was upset and said he was going to kill me. And I was afraid because I'm like, is he actually going to really kill me? Right. The way that he hits me, it looks like he would kill me. So I went to school and I called home and I told my mom, I said, I'm not coming back home. And she said, what do you mean you're not coming back home? I said, I'm not coming back home. She's like, why? I said, I'm not coming back home.
What age are you?
I was 16, 16. I was in high school. And she was upset, so she called my stepdad and told him, and he started getting upset, and I had to call home. And then he's like, why aren't you coming home? So I said, I'm not coming home. So I told them over the phone, and then right away he came and picked me up from school. By the time I got home, everybody was there.
Wow.
The entire family was
Aunties,
there.
everybody.
Everybody was there.
Everybody was there.
A little bit embarrassing and degrading the way that they dealt with it. It was almost like trying to shelter me, but not really shelter me. Like, okay, like what really happened? Are you sure that's what really happened? And then one of the aunts had said, are you sure it wasn't? Because my stepdad, I was told to call him uncle, not by his first name or by anything. Are you sure it wasn't him? And I'm like,
wow.
No. And he was the only person that said, you know what? I know it's true. I'm standing by you. We're going to the police station.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that had happened. But then I had to retract my story because my mom, her reaction was, But I understand why, because at the time, her family was already not on good terms with her. They're already mad about her choice of partner and how she lives her life. So she was like the black sheep already of her family. So I think in her mind, she believed that, you know what? I rather save the family relationship than my daughter.
At 16, what goes through your mind? What are you thinking? Like, what is it? What is your relationship like outside of the family? Like, are you sociable? Like, you have friends? Are you able to talk to them? Are you able to, at that age, you know, are you able to communicate that this is happening?
No, actually, nobody knew. When I was 16, I was a little bit timid, shy, very shy. But I was also very outgoing. My hair was always done. Like, I would do my hair 4 times a week, different color braids I was doing. I loved myself, but at the same time, I didn't love myself enough. Like, I loved the exterior of myself.
Of who you were.
So I always wanted to make sure I looked good. So my hair was always done. I took care of my skin, the way that I dressed. But you could see that I was blocking something, that I was hiding something. If you truly were reading me, you knew that I was hiding something.
If you were truly reading me. I have another book review here. Every once in a while, as a reader, you come across a book that you would call a masterpiece. In most cases, it's either a thriller, fantasy, or a mystery book. However, in this case, Jenelle has given us a masterpiece by writing about her life. Commitment to a Deceitful Liar is by far one of the best books I have read where the author connects seamlessly with her audience. You're laughing. Why?
I don't know. Like I told you, I'm
How
learning to accept.
Yeah. How does it make you feel?
I don't know. I'm just a very humble person, so it's good that people are getting the impact that I wanted them to get.
Yeah.
But I'm still learning to accept, like praise.
That your greatness.
Yeah. Yes, my greatness.
Yeah. Let's talk about this is a trilogy we're saying, right? Commitment to a Deceitful Liar. This is book 1 of. What are we going to be expanding more on the book? Well, tell us have you begun to write the second book?
I'm finished the second book.
Yeah, have you begun to write? Can you take us into it?
So the second book goes into when he comes back. And then what happens when I finally tell them. It goes into when I moved out the night before my 19th birthday and never went back home. It dives into my relationship with my mom and the struggles that we can't seem to get through.
How is that? If you don't mind me asking, how is that relationship with your family on a whole? Mom, your stepdad, your brother?
My brother and I are great.
That's right. He's a part of. Yes, that's right. You did.
He's
say
like
that.
my best friend.
Yes. Hi,
my
bestie.
dad's the typical dad. Like, he doesn't show affection, but I know he cares for me. We don't talk every day. But we have an understanding.
Yeah. How's grandma? How are things with grandma?
I think she's good. I haven't spoken to her in a while. I just left that alone now.
Okay.
Because you can't change people. They have to want to change for themselves. And I think that she is good with her ways now. And there's nothing I can do about it. Like, I have lots of cousins, uncles. And I realized that my mom's behavior is from my grandma.
Okay.
Because there's a point where, like, for example, if my uncle had his son and the son's over, there was this thing where don't take pictures of the kids. Because in their mind, they think if you have a picture of the child, you're going to do something to hurt the child. This whole Abia thing. And I can't live like that. So I just separate myself from situations like that and people that live their life like that and think like that all the time.
We have another book review. Really interesting read. And I cannot wait to read the next book. The book starts out with a really clear description of the author's very young childhood in Jamaica. The descriptions weren't over the top, but still allowed you to picture what it was like. And I can agree with this person. And I was really, for me, Grandma Sweetie, I was like, yeah, I want to taste. You did a great job of painting that picture. How have the reviews been from persons that know you here in Jamaica or in Jamaica on a whole?
So I'm not really connected to
Okay.
people down here.
Okay.
I have connected with a few other authors recently. Feedback has been really good.
Good. Yeah.
Which not surprisingly, because I intentionally wrote the book. I intentionally put the emotions in there. I intentionally put the description there because that's how I wanted people to receive it. So hearing the feedback, I'm like, wow, my intentions,
Yeah.
they
came
came
to
through.
So you achieved what you set out to do.
Yeah. So reading like the reviews that you're reading back, I've heard some of them,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
So
This is your baby.
and I've had people ask me questions, and then they're like, "Don't answer all the questions because you're giving away too much." And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, and that's why I don't really want to, I don't want to give away too much because I really want people to go out and get the book, Commitment to a Deceitful Liar. Jenelle, I want you to take our listeners through Commitment to a Deceitful Liar. How did you come up with that title?
So I came up with that title approximately since 12, so yeah, 10 years ago.
Is that when you were going to write the book, or is it how did that come apart?
Before that, I was already thinking about it. Like I knew that I wanted to become an author. I just didn't know if I had it in me.
Okay.
I didn't, because I'm like, okay, I have to go to school, get a higher education, figure things out how to become a writer, because most of the authors that I see or saw when growing up were mostly Caucasians. I didn't really see any Black authors, and I was like, how am I going to do this? So I was sitting at my computer desk, and I went on the computer to do some work. And when I opened the computer, it was a Facebook message that my partner had sent to his cousin. And the message was him telling his cousin that he thinks he got the girl in Jamaica pregnant, and
Wait.
and that he thinks he might have a child
Oh.
back home.
Oh.
And his cousin was like, okay, well, don't tell her.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, what she don't know can't hurt her,
All right.
So I'm like, I sat there for a second. I'm like, wait, God, what is this? And I'm like, I'm reliving parts of my mom's life, although I promised myself I was going to break these generational cycles. And I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm doing something wrong. I'm not doing it. Now I have a son. I'm responsible for him.
Yeah.
And what I demonstrate to him, this is not what I want to demonstrate. So literally I sat there, and Commitment to a Deceitful Liar came to me, because we're attached to so many stories and lies, and then we transfer it to other people, and they walk around believing it, even our children. Like, for example,
For sure.
most times you hear that strippers, they're HOEs, they're no good, and that was their choice. But really, though, you don't know their life. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know if they're doing it to put themselves through college, whatever the case may be.
Which a lot of them are. Quite a few of them are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or my sister, she's a lesbian, and my mom is so afraid of it.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that sounds about right.
My sister had told me first, and I already knew. And then, she told my mom kept avoiding it, saying, no, you're not. You're not. The blood of Jesus against you. The blood of Jesus. God will heal you. And I'm like, she's telling you something.
Yeah.
Listen to her.
Yeah.
No, that not right. That not right. And like, it's funny, but she'll make comments to my sister like, go take one man and you'll become straight. And I'm like, what are you telling her?
Okay. I mean, this is just the ideals of, I mean, I guess that's generational too, because nowadays, society has become more accepting.
Right. So when I say commit to Deceitful Liar, it's more than one meaning, because
I can understand that now.
a lot of people will be afraid of it. Your son's gay. You don't want it for your son. But you forget that they have to live that life, not you. They have to face the whole world. The only thing you have to face is saying that my son or my daughter is a lesbian or... So Commitment to Deceitful Liar were so many things wrapped up in all three books, where my mom didn't let us sleep at friend's house. Everything, don't eat from nobody, because she made it seem like something was going to happen when I eat the food. I have a friend, and I went to her house when I was in high school, and years ago, like maybe 4 years ago, she said to me, do you remember the first thing you said to me when I asked you if you wanted food? I said, what was that? She said, your mom said not to eat from nobody. And I said that? She says, yes. And I'm like, that was the old me.
Yeah, wow.
Because you have to learn to trust people.
Wow.
And trust that if we say that we trust God and God is faithful, and you got to show that. You got to trust God wholeheartedly.
Right.
You can't walk around believing these myths and then transfer it onto our children. Because now my kids, they have lots of friends in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I got parents asking, well, can your kids sleep over?
Yeah.
Can they come to our house for dinner? And the day when I called their dad and said, well, the neighbor asked if they can come over for dinner. She's cooking. He's like, Jen,
It's
remember, your life's deceit. You're breaking generational cycles.
There you go.
Our kids are old enough.
Yeah, and
they
they're
know
covered.
how to speak, and they're covered. So,
Janelle, before we run out of time, I just want to make sure that everybody has access to the book. One, are you doing a book tour?
I'm planning that.
Yeah.
I would like to come back soon here.
You are most welcomed. You
to
are
do a book
absolutely
tour.
most welcomed. Yes.
So yes, when everything's penciled out, I will.
Please let us
post the
know.
dates.
Please let us know. And where can we find the book?
Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Goodreads, all online bookstores. It's gonna be there.
What about locally? We have to get things locally.
Locally, I'm working to get books into Fontana's right now.
Okay,
Some
Fontana, if you're
bookstores
listening, Janelle's on her way.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm working on it before I leave. So it will be in bookstores in Jamaica.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. What has been the most rewarding part about writing this book for you?
Living my purpose and literally saying, well, God, I accept my purpose and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And releasing the fear and people. Like, I love to see that people are inspired by my book and now they want to write a book. Like, my sister-in-law has been saying it to me. She's like, I need to write a book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, we're going to do it.
Yes.
So it's about people for me
Yeah.
and seeing the change and the
It's
shift.
about people. Yes,
Yeah.
that change and that shift.
I need to see that shift because we only have a certain amount of time on this earth to do what we came to do and set a foundation and leave a legacy that somebody and other people want to carry on.
It's like the writer and I live the same life. Everything she wrote about was 100% my life. Growing up as a Caribbean child, the rules we are given make us terrified to talk up when it's time to do it. The writer wrote a book, not a story. She did not hold back with the details on how she felt about certain characters in her book. I'm sure that was a big deal too, kind of speaking your truth, knowing that it was going to hurt people. It was going to be eye-opening for people. You know, people would have, we as Caribbean households, growing up in my house, you can't talk the family business and,
That was a big thing for me. That was a struggle.
Yeah.
Not talking the family business, but that's what's supposed to help people. That's my purpose.
To heal, absolutely.
So I can't think about the smaller picture. I got to think about the bigger picture.
I must say this book had me drawn in from beginning to end. The author truly knew how to connect the readers. I felt a lot of emotions, and while reading this book, I had teary moments as well as good laughs, especially when reading the Jamaican patois. It was important to stay true to who you are, yeah?
It's
And pay
important
homage
for people to feel.
Yeah.
Like, this is raw West Indian. I want them to feel that. And that was what I put in the book. So the patois was very important for me to put it there because it adds humor, but authenticness.
Yeah. All right. So, Janelle, I'm going to ask you to read from your book your favorite part that you picked out.
I'm going to read a firm affirmation, intentional thoughts. We are human, and it's natural to go through human emotions and seasons in your life. And it's absolutely healthy to continue to learn from them. What's not normal is being the same, living the same, and going through the same seasons in life. We are different, and it's normal to go through human stages, feelings, and grow. Embrace humanity and being authentically you. Go ahead and live your freaking normal life with grace and not shame.
Go ahead and live your freaking normal life with grace and not shame. Do you have any advice for any aspiring authors out there?
Just do it. Deal with yourself first.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we are our biggest critic and we hold ourselves back from getting to levels that God's trying to push us to. Get a pen and paper and literally write how you feel.
Yeah.
Don't hold back. Don't shave down pieces of your story, because that part that you're planning to shave down because you think it's too gruesome or grimy or people are not going to accept is what people actually need. Trust me. Like, people need to hear that part because somebody went through it and they need to know how you got through it. So do it and don't be afraid.
Well, Jenelle, I must tell you that, one, I am proud of you.
Thank you.
I am proud of you, and I look forward to the other series in the book. I do understand you're a children's author as well.
Yes.
So I'm sure those. First of all, I'll wait to get my copies. I'm waiting, and I'm getting a signed copy, guys. And we will be reviewing this. We will be reviewing this some more over on Chasing Purpose, Purposeful Reads. But yeah, this is good. And the healing that I see that you've, I mean, it's apparent.
Yep.
It's apparent, and it's good. That self-healing, it feels good.
It feels good.
Yeah.
It's funny because I used to like wear bangs in my face to hide because I was so insecure, and I didn't want people to notice what I was hiding. So I thought the little swoop would be hiding it.
Yeah.
But this book was it.
Yeah.
It was a real breakthrough for me.
Wow. Breakthrough. That's awesome. And are there any other books that you're going to be writing besides the trilogy?
Yeah, I have a children's book that's called Siblings Misunderstood, and my children are the co-authors.
Oh, I love that.
Because when my son had asked for a sibling, he thought, his life was going to be all peachy. Then he realized that he got a little annoying sister, and now he has to deal with certain things. There's children affirmations in there.
Yeah.
And I got my workbooks and journals.
Yeah.
I have a workbook on Amazon right now, Flourishing Healing. And then I got another workbook coming out, and I'll be putting that soon on Instagram so everybody could see it.
Walking into your purpose.
Yes.
Actually, you're actually in your purpose, isn't it? This is awesome. Commitment to a Deceitful Liar. I am going to read some affirmations really quickly that Jenelle has penned here in the book. Please, guys, go out and get the book. It is everywhere that you can think of. We're going to get it here locally, but on all reading platforms, online platforms. I will not give advice regarding situations I have not healed from. I am okay with admitting that I am not healed and I am still processing things. I will not give advice on things I have no experience with and cause anyone to stray in the wrong direction. I will learn to be okay saying I'm sorry. I am not the best person for you to seek advice from at this time. I have to deal with myself first before I give advice to anyone. I am learning to be okay with not saying anything and just listening. I can be an outlet for someone and not give a biased opinion, but stay neutral and support them in the best way I can. I am still healing and I am okay with saying that out loud. Those are affirmations are from Commitment to a Deceitful Liar, Commitment to a Deceitful Liar by Jenelle Simpson. Please, guys, go out and get this book. Jenelle, it was an absolute pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me.
I look forward to all that you are going to be doing in this space and touching and walking to your purpose. To my amazing team producer, Daniela, Jeffrey Brown, Romy Sinsum, my name, you have to remember my name. My name is Cynthia Shea Clark. Have a great one, Bridge Nation, and happy Friday.